Hello, my name is Jacqueline. Welcome to English Angel. Today we will talk about how to shadow to learn English. Have you ever tried shadowing to learn English? Shadowing is a technique where you listen to a TV program, movie, news show, or really anything in English or the language you want to learn, and you repeat that and learn what they're saying as you are watching it. Now, everybody has a different way to shadow, and there are so many ways to do it. Today, I will give you 6 tips to help you shadow English effectively so that you can see your English improve as you're shadowing. Tip number 1, focus on a short clip. Instead of trying to shadow a whole movie or a whole TV show, try to just do it in small chunks. You could easily feel frustrated or not see your progress if you're trying to shadow a really long video. Start off with just a clip that is about 1 to 3 minutes, so that way you can see your progress more easily and not get frustrated as you're learning. Tip number 2, have a goal in mind when choosing what you will shadow. So you need to think first about what kind of English do I want to learn? Do I just want to learn some conversational English? If that's the case, maybe I'll watch a sitcom. But do I want to learn more about social issues or the news? Then maybe you'll want to shadow a speech or a news program. First, think about the type of English you want to learn so that you can really learn that kind of English and improve what you want to learn much more quickly. Tip number 3, focus on shadowing when you can see the person talking, not narration. When you're shadowing, it's really useful to be able to see the person's face. What is their facial expression? How is their mouth moving to pronounce the words they're saying? What situation or context are they in? These are all really important to help you learn English, not just the sentences. So really focus on shadowing when you can see that person's face and you can see those things going on. This will help you mimic their English much more easily, and eventually your English will become much more natural than if you are only listening and repeating. Tip number 4, try to visualize the scene in your mind. So a lot of people will shadow and they'll write down all of the phrases and sentences, and then they'll try to memorize those on their own in isolation. Now, that's going to be both difficult for you to do, and it might not sound natural when you memorize it like that. So what I recommend you do is after you watch that and repeat that, and you want to memorize it, you should close your eyes and you should picture that scene. Try to memorize the actual scene. Who walked into the room? What did they say? Did they grab a drink, or was there something else happening at the moment? Okay, as you're picturing the scene, try and say the words that they said. This way, it will be much easier to remember because you have that visual, and it will also make it much easier for you to say the words more naturally like the characters and know when to use those words in the long run. Tip number 5, pay attention to the rhythm and intonation when the characters are speaking. So one thing that can be very difficult for English language learners is understanding the rhythm of English. Okay, our voices usually go up and down, and we stress certain words and certain syllables. Shadowing is a great time to learn that because in other situations where you're just reading or just listening, it can be a lot harder to catch that. But when you're shadowing and you're listening and watching the people, you can really feel when they're stressing a word and how to say that whole sentence naturally. So pay attention to that. For example, the word photographer. If you say photographer, then a native speaker might not understand what you're saying. You have to say photographer. So when you're shadowing, think about that as you're saying and pronouncing the words, and that will really help you sound really natural. Tip number 6, set a schedule. So when you're learning any new skill, it's important to have a set time for that, so you make sure you're actually doing it. For example, try to do shadowing for 20 minutes every morning. As you make a routine, it will be much easier for you to keep up the habit in the long run, and that will really help your English in the long term, even if you're doing it for just a short time each day. I hope you found these tips helpful for you. I also made a video about some useful English websites for learning English, so you can check those in the card above. I hope you will subscribe to my channel and ring the bell if you are interested in more English learning contents. And please leave a comment if there is any special topic you want me to cover or if you have any questions. I would love to create a great community with all of you and get to know you all so that we can learn together and I can make more useful videos for you guys. Okay, so my name is Jacqueline and this was English Angel. Good luck shadowing and happy studying. See you in the next video. Goodbye.